Today we're talking about being able to forgive yourself. Is that ever hard for you? Ooh, I know it can be hard for me. But being able to forgive yourself as a parent is extremely helpful on this parenting journey, especially if we're raising autistic kids or kids with any sort of extra support needs. We're constantly going to feel like, I don't know about you, but it can feel like we're constantly getting it wrong. I'm not sure that there is necessarily an exactly right, because then that would be perfection, and I don't believe that that exists. But most parents that I meet who are raising kids with extra challenges are incredibly conscientious, engaged, loving, caring parents. And they also, and I include myself in this, tend to be anxious types, perfectionistic. Not all, of course. Not all of us are perfectionists. But if we're dealing with perfectionism, then we're also dealing with a good bit of guilt and shame. And I want to differentiate the two. Maybe you've already heard of this, but just real quick, guilt is when we feel bad about something that we did. And shame is when we feel bad about ourselves, like we attack our character. We feel like it's a character flaw or something that cannot be changed. Guilt isn't necessarily a bad thing, It helps motivate us to correct a mistake that we've made, or when we feel like we've done something bad or hurtful. It actually allows us to integrate new learning and do something different next time, right? Sort of like change course, break old patterns. So it's, again, I want to stress that it's not, shame is an attack on our character, right? So some of the inner dialogue that you may hear with shame, for example, is something's wrong with me. What's wrong with me? I'm a terrible person. I'm so shitty. I'm a horrible mother, or parent. The thing about shame, and this is where it gets real tricky, is it can also lead to avoidance, right? Because it's so painful that we may not really even want to deal with the issue that brought the shame up in the first place. And so then we end up kind of avoiding our child, which is in some ways keeps us stuck, because how can we? Really. I mean, we're their caregiver, so we need to be taking care of them and forming a relationship. It also makes it much harder to kind of resolve the issue. So here are a few steps to help you with the self-forgiveness piece. The first thing you want to do is just take responsibility. Admit, I made a mistake. I wished I would have handled it differently. What I did was hurtful, et cetera, et cetera. You kind of come clean with yourself, and then you can move on from there. When we're talking about taking responsibility, guilt actually helps with that, right? So it's sort of like, if we can think about it as, I feel bad about this thing that I did, and then say to ourselves, like, look, I did it. I mean, I'm not going to blame my child or someone else for causing it. We can understand maybe some of the causes, like maybe there was extra stress throughout the day, or things have been extra challenging, so I got to my end, and that realizing, okay, well, part of the responsibility factor is I need to take better care of myself. I need to take more breaks during the day. I need to get better sleep, or whatever it is that is interfering with you being, clear-headed and calm and cool and collected, like the parent that you want to be, right? Another thing that I would say is, and I know maybe you've heard this before, but maybe not, it bears repeating, is that maybe stop watching or looking so much at social media, especially at the parenting blogs and parenting advice. Now, I will say, look, I do one too, okay? But I think we want to pay attention to the ones that really embrace that they are not perfect. So if you're following an expert that never admits their mistakes or acts like they are, and some of them are great, like I love the information that they give out, but it can also leave you feeling like, I just can't get this, right? And so it's really helpful when they will say, I've made this mistake before, or, I know what it's like. And so then it's sort of like, okay, they're not up on some pedestal and you're so far below, because again, that's the shame spiral. And we know that social media can do that. So I would just be cautious with some of that, especially if you're in the throes of feeling really badly about yourself or something that you did. So the next piece is to repair the incident that happened. And this is actually not just to say sorry to the person that you hurt, whether it's your child or somebody else, but you're also role modeling for them that you are not perfect, you mess up, and you can make it okay, you can make it better, and you can also promise to do better but actually do it, take the action steps to do it. I made kind of a quick, short little video of how to forgive. I will link that little short over here so you can get a little bit of a laugh. Even though that video is kind of a funny one, it still gives you the components of how to repair something. And the last thing I'll say is it's never too late to do the right thing. It's start today. Start right now in this moment. You can do it. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my videos, if you like what I'm saying, if you find it helpful and supportive, I would love for you to subscribe so you can hear more of what I'm talking about. I'm Shani, licensed marriage and family therapist, and see you soon.